from Sacred Wrath. What is it all about? What is the message in that play?
Well, as the centennial year approached of the Armenian Genocide, I asked myself how I could contribute to this cause, and I didn't want the year to pass by without doing anything about it. And I reflected a lot on the stories that my grandparents told me, also the stories I heard from survivors when I reported on their escape. Every year I would go to the Armenian home and I would interview the survivors, and just hearing their stories, they remained with me. And I wanted to write something, and I wanted to contribute in some way to the community and to the community at large. I didn't want it just to be for Armenians, because I believe that in order for our message to continue to be spread and for people to be aware of it, we have to open it up to the greater community. So I wrote something, it's titled From Sacred Wrath. It is a play, and it's a take on more of a contemporary take on the Armenian Genocide. I honor the past. There is a story that is told about escape, but I also wanted to bring it into a more contemporary context. The questions that we have, the discussions that we have in our homes, among our friends, I felt it was important to present this on stage, to present our community and the ongoing issues that are going on as the 100th year approaches.
There are so many things happening. You mentioned your grandparents, or the generation that was so special. Your grandpa was a titan, was a giant, and not because he lived to be 100 years old, but he was a teacher, educator, principal, editor. How much of that has an influence on you in doing what you're doing?
It has certainly influenced me. They say that your home is your first teacher, and I was very fortunate that all my family members have been supportive, and also that I do come from a home that supports our Armenian culture and our history on both my sides, and I learned so much from them. And this is a tribute to them. This is a tribute to all of our grandparents and all of our survivors, and we, as the next generation, we have to take the next step. One thing that I'd like to mention that is important to me with this play is that I have the role of a Turkish journalist in this play, and I cast an actual Turkish actor in this role in an Armenian genocide play, who openly acknowledges the genocide and who also agrees that there has to be discussion, for both of our communities to reconcile and to move forward. So that to me is my contribution. That to me is a progressive step forward.
We are very, very much interested in knowing what the youth is doing, how the youth is doing, and there is another function at the Art Factory. What is it all about? What can you share with us?
The event, it's titled 100 Years and Beyond Culture Honor Celebration. So we wanted, again, to honor our past, celebrate the fact that we are alive, we are thriving, and inspire us to do good work as the next generation. We wanted to organize something for the youth and to inspire them and to get them excited about not only Times Square the following day, but also about our generation and what it means moving forward past the 100-year mark. So we have a great lineup here. We have the West Coast rapper Armin, we have the Armenian band Yera Queen, Armenian actor Joe Asadurian, who has been doing a one-man show off Broadway, comedian Lucien Shamamian, musician Alan Semerjian, and also musician Greg Dostur. It will be taking place on Sunday, April 26th, from 1:45 p.m. to 4 p.m. And they're doing something a little bit different this year, which is very interesting and exciting for the community. They will be having a procession after church services from St. Vartan Cathedral. And at 11:30, they'll begin a procession to Times Square. And they will also have floats, which is also something new this year. So it would be wonderful if the whole community joined in on this procession as we all walk together to Times Square for the commemoration program.
You mentioned floats. What do you mean by floats?
Certain organizations have sponsored floats, and they will be using those during the procession as we go to Times Square.
What is new? Everybody wants something different on the centennial commemoration, 100th anniversary. What is it that Times Square Gathering is offering different this year?
So aside from the procession, the program will be a little bit different this year as well. There will be the core speakers, the politicians and the scholars, which are integral to the program. It's important to have government supporters there who are working towards having the United States recognize and acknowledge the genocide. But aside from that, we have a guest artist this year, which will really galvanize the community and the crowd. His name is Sebu Simonian from the band Capital Cities. They have received worldwide acclaim. He's Los Angeles based, and he has agreed to come and perform for our community in Times Square. So we're all very much excited for that.
Taleen, next to you is a good friend of yours who came to the radio today, Girar Khorozian. Girar, you heard what Taleen had to say, and anytime you hear anything anybody says, there is always something we all want to jump in with a comment. What is it?
Of course, and I think when you were asking about if we're doing something a little different during the Times Square event was, there's going to be great consideration in inviting other communities that have been involved in other genocides like the Holocaust or Sudan, and we want to bring together some organizations to our event, not to only make it just about Armenians, but just genocide in general, to spread awareness of genocides that have occurred. And I think that'd be great for us too, it's just, and when she was saying something about unity, it's like, unify other cultures too.
I feel like with Armenians sometimes we tend to focus just on our genocide, but there are so many other genocides that have taken place before us, after us, and I think it's important to put ourselves in that context as well.
Yeah.
And that's something I've kept in mind, and that's important.
Diran, you heard the comments by Taleen and Girar. What is it you would like to add?
It's obviously an excellent time around April. Excellent in terms of all Armenians coming together to commemorate, the 100th anniversary of the genocide. And I think that there's going to be a lot of momentum moving forward. And I think that's important to maintain that vision that as much as we are commemorating 100 years ago, what happened 100 years ago, we need to maintain a vision of what's going to happen moving forward. And there's a lot of young people, it's always a cliche, the youth, but there's a lot of talented people we have amongst our community, and what they're going to do for the next 100 years and beyond is very important to not only celebrate, but to recognize and utilize those talents moving forward. So I think that we will see both sides of the spectrum. We will see those that are remembering 100 years ago and those that may have been a part of it, the genocide survivors, and then we will also see the people that are going to pick up the torch and move forward.